astray. But frankness is due to one who craves my every kiss. So I make it plain in my refrain that the best I can do is this. I might be your once in a while. I might see you once in a while, but I can't be true to you or you or you. I can't be your all of the time, your ever and ever. But maybe your once in a while will do.
All right, welcome to my new show, Hiking with Allie, where we go through the wilderness of Studio City. This is not a real thing, but this is a real review of a real lens. We're talking about the Eureka 50mm f2 from Typoc. Before I get run over, I'm not going to be doing a technical review because, one, I'm not a technical channel, but secondly, I don't really review lenses. So this is a little bit outside the box for me, and I'm not particularly precious about lenses, which I shared. I'm going to be out of breath by the end of this review, which I shared in a podcast recently with my friend Ian. Prime Lenses, go check it out if you haven't already. It's a great podcast. Yeah, precious, technical is not my vibe. I like vintage, I like character, I like a little bit of wildness, and this lens is kind of like right up there. It is built apparently somewhat off of the Leica Summicron f2 collapsible. That would have been like a 50s lens, I believe, and it's full of character. Of course there's a helicopter right as I start recording, and a lot of trucks. Los Angeles, friends, Los Angeles. So it has a collapsible design. It is an f2 lens, which is nice and fast. Kind of, for me, a sweet spot on lenses for the M system because they're just so much more compact. It's 12 bladed apertures, has really interesting bokeh. And apparently, and this is wild to me, I'm gonna have to test this, but apparently the image circle on the lens is big enough to cover a medium format digital sensor like a GFX or Hasselblad. Really interesting. Definitely want to try that.
I'm ready now. I'm wide awake. Bring it on. Let's celebrate. No looking.
So I have been using this almost exclusively on my Leica M262, which is a camera I just recently got for an upcoming trip. I kind of like talked about it a little bit in my chat with the Mimi Amigos.
Yeah, we're all obsessive in some way. So what's the new camera then?
My Leica 262. It's really, really nice on here because of that collapsible design. You really are getting such a beautiful, compact form factor here, but you're still getting that nice, fast 50mm f2. You pull it out, you twist it, and then you're locked into place to shoot. It also has nice touches of hardware here. It has this little push-on Typoc lens cap out of aluminum, and it actually stays on. I've had these beautiful Pentax Limited lenses with those push-on lens caps, and they oftentimes fall off, so that's really nice. And then it comes with this little UV filter that you can screw on, which is pretty cute. If you don't want to put a lens cap in, I just put this on and throw it in the bag. And then you have the lens itself. It has a clickless aperture, which I'll be honest, I don't love. I really don't love. Like, I actually hate. Sorry, but I do. I like to feel where I'm at in my aperture and I'll frequently, like I was shooting this on the beach recently, and I'm really trying to get that stop down look because it was super bright out, and I just like that deep depth of field. And I kept slipping to like f2, which was really nice for some portraits that I was doing, but not when I was trying to get more of a landscape shot. So that's kind of frustrating because it slips very easily and you kind of don't notice until your exposure is off. Then it also has this infinity lock here, which I don't know. I kind of don't like either, to be honest. I like it from a conceptual standpoint because it's kind of cute and vibey, and it definitely gives you that vintage feel. I have another lens like this, which actually is very similar to this lens, much, much heavier, and I like this in aluminum because it is lightweight. They do come out with this lens in brass as well, which I imagine is going to have more heft to it, but the aluminum is really wonderful and light. And this focus wheel, whilst I really, really love the tab on it actually, because it has a bit of a rotating head so that when your finger moves, this is a really, really finite point, but when your finger moves, it doesn't feel like you're losing your way. Like I've had tabs that have not got this on the head, and then you're kind of like, it just feels weird to the finger. So this makes it a little less friction filled as an experience when you're focusing. This thing is actually shockingly sharp despite its vintage, soft, glowy, sort of old-timey feel. And that old-timey feel, wide open, is really, really nice for portraits because you're getting that soft touch with crisp edges. That's just like I have no other way of explaining it. But then when you stop down, the lens is actually really sharp, and not in a clinical way, sharp in a very nice way that I actually really, really like. So while at the upfront of this video, I kind of put that track on about this is your some of the time lens, not your all of the time lens, I would actually be totally fine shooting this all of the time, but I'm a very particular person, and I could see this being more of a specialty lens for most. It also comes with this really cute little hood, if I can find it here in my bag somewhere. I mean, my bag's not that big. Okay, here it is. So it comes with this nice little hood, so you can put this on. I will say the hood, for some reason, does not attach as confidently as I would say the UV filter and the cap do, so I'm not sure if that's just like a machining thing, but mine just doesn't really stay on very well, so I don't use it very much. I also don't use lens hoods in general for any of my cameras, so take that for what it's worth. But this as a shooting experience is really, really wonderful. Do I recommend this lens? Absolutely. I think it's really, really nice. Again, I would say my biggest qualm is the aperture ring. I can even live with the focusing tab. It's not the worst. I don't love the infinity lock, but again, it's manageable. I can handle that, but I do wish that the aperture ring were clicked. But other than that, it's a great lens. I love the image quality and I love the rendering, so I do recommend it. That's all I gotta say about that. Welcome to one of my favorite spots in LA. Check this out, guys. Ah, she's so beautiful. Anyway, hope you found that helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.